Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. I'm back again with a Cancer reading. This is for the week of 8/25. Yes, I am a day late. My intention was to get these up on Sunday evening, just in time for the week, but things happen. But I am here nonetheless. So I will be better. Get better at putting these up on Sunday evening. I will be doing that, doing a lot better with that. Okay, and if not Sunday evening, definitely, yeah, you know what I mean. It'll be just in time for Monday. So by Monday morning, you should see these readings. I'm gonna take a sip of my water here. Thank you so much if you are a returning subscriber. If you are new, thank you for stopping by as well. I'm happy to have you. Definitely consider subscribing, so or as you listen through the video, you get a sense of how I read, and if you enjoy it, definitely subscribe, because I have more videos coming soon. I really enjoy doing these readings. I feel like I am kind of giving back in a way, because I really do love to read for people. But yeah, so if you enjoy the reading, give me a like as well. That definitely helps push me out to the algorithm. Leave me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know how it resonates, if it resonates. And if you feel comfortable sharing, you can tell me how it resonates, if you feel comfortable. What else? Yeah, if the AC pops on, I will speak over it. Other noises, it's bound to happen. I have a little munchkin over here. I think he's walked out of the room right now, but my cousin has a little dog. And sometimes, he comes out or comes in my room and hangs out, or he'll go in the living room, back in the living room, and hang out there, but he'll come and go, make sounds and all that other stuff. So if that's what you hear, like little grunts or snores, or a bark here or there because he hears a noise, then that's a little doggy. Anyway, so without further ado, we're gonna get into the Cancer reading for the week here, just to kind of see what spirit, God, universe, whatever you believe in, take it as it resonates, put it where it applies. And we're just looking to see what the vibes are going to be like, what we need to know, that type of thing. These cards are already shuffled, and the decks that I'm using will be down in the description box as well. Forgot to mention this in the other two videos, but for Libra and Taurus. But if you want to book a personal reading with me, I'm open for bookings. The way to do that is to email me and get my prices and all that stuff. I am definitely affordable for you. I will never ever reach out to anyone to do readings for them. I don't do that. If someone is pretending, I know I'm still a fairly new reader, but yeah, I don't reach out to anyone because I don't do readings for free. Only for friends and family. But I do these readings as a way, to give back, as well as to push myself out there more. This is more so for me than anything. Is just for me to get more comfortable in front of the camera, as well as sharing my gift, okay? Because I absolutely want to connect with more people who enjoy tarot and oracle readings as well. But for more in-depth work, yeah, definitely will need, need that support, for conducting more in-depth readings. But anyway, without further ado, I don't want to spend too much time on that, because I can yap, and I've been yapping. You can definitely tell this is Virgo season because the communication is off the charts. with the yapping. Okay, but I'm gonna try not to make this one too long, because Libra's time went over a lot. So yeah, without further ado, what do we need to know for Cancer? And this can apply again for Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, which I am, Cancer Rising, whatever placement. You know, just take it as it resonates, put it where it needs to go. All right, that wants to come out. Okay. And if I didn't mention it before, the decks that I'm using will be in the description box, and I decided to change it up a bit and use the Fairy Tarot, as well as the African Goddess Rising Oracle cards for our Oracle. I don't know if I mentioned this as well, but I have a Patreon coming soon, as well as Discord. Patreon will be more for like readings, more in-depth extended readings like these. You know, if something kind of sticks out and we want to know more about certain things, yeah. And when I say we, I mean the collective that I'm reading for, and I include myself in the collective as well, because even though I'm reading, you know, messages may pop up for me as well that resonate. For Discord, it will be more so like for us to hang out, right? You know, cards can be pulled more over there just for funsies, you know, but it's more so like connecting and building a community even more, more intimate, I guess you could say, more close-knit. You know, we'll be able to kind of discuss more things over there, especially personal, and whatever, you know, mentioned in there will stay there, you know what I mean? So it's that type of thing where I'm gonna try to build a safe, you know, inclusive environment over there on Discord. And I think I figured out how to, I'm setting it up, so I figured it out how to get it the way I want. Okay. All right. So Cancer babies. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Two winter cards. Interesting. Okay. Hands are itching, so I don't know. Some of y'all might be getting some money, Cancers. Whenever the hands are itching for me, that means money is on the way. Now that's kind of a random message, but I have to go with what I feel. Okay. I'm just kind of assessing the cards, just kind of getting a sense of what is going on for the week here. Okay, I just had it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to one of my friends, associates, if you want to call it that, because I see a card that kind of puts me in the mind of her. So anyway, first out, we have Eight of Winter, and this is: you have what it takes if only you believe in yourself. Thinking that you're powerless when you're not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. That's Eight of Winter. Okay, so Cancers, some of you right off the bat may be dealing with some insecurities, going into this week. You may be dealing with issues of self-doubt, feeling like you're not good enough. And I feel like self-confidence came up in Libra's reading, so there could be a message in there for you there. So definitely go check it out if you feel guided to. No pressure, not trying to make you go over there and look at it, but if you feel drawn to that, definitely go do that, especially if you have Libra placements. Okay. But more so, more so for you all. I feel like because your self-confidence is sort of lacking, or you may be having issues with it, it could be stopping you from pursuing something that that you're more than qualified for. This could definitely be in the form of a job or an opportunity that keeps coming up strongly. I'm also seeing maybe there's someone that you want to pursue romantically that you feel like you're kind of out of their league. I'm also getting that, and it's just like you never know until you try. The worst that they can tell you is is a no. If they are seeing someone else, or they're just not interested and don't want to be single or to themselves, that's perfectly fine. In life we will have rejections. In life we will have wins. It just depends on what season we're in. So I wouldn't, even if you do get rejection, and no matter what, if you hear a whole bunch of no's, just remember that all you need is that one yes, and you keep going until you get that yes, or you make a way to where you don't even have to worry about getting a yes. You create the opportunities for yourself. So that's what I'm really getting from Eight of Winners. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Go for what it is that you want. When you put in the work, you get results, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get what it is that you want. Okay, so just put forth the effort, and don't discount yourself before you've had a chance to really see. You don't know what's going to happen if you don't put yourself out there. You know what I mean? If you're afraid to be seen, then what? You know what I mean? Are you gonna you're gonna be like regretting that you didn't make a move? You know what I mean? That you didn't do something that you're afraid to do. All right, so we're gonna keep going. By midweek, you have the ace of winter here, and let's see, it says don't be deterred by challenges along the way. What did I tell you? It's important to communicate clearly and accurately. Amazing new ideas that should be implemented. Yeah, don't listen. If you have good ideas, especially in a work environment, don't be afraid to speak up. Like, your idea could be the change that needs to happen at your place of business, or if there's something, like, say for instance, sometimes people do like different series on their TikToks or on YouTube or something like that. Don't be afraid to implement it. Like, just test it out. Test it out and see what's happening. Like, this is something new that I'm doing, where I am reading for my major placements, because I feel a big strong connection to those placements, of course. And this is the elements or the signs that I typically get the most traffic for. So of course I'm going to give back to those signs and to those elements. So it could be something in the form of that, or it could be like maybe you have like a game that you like to play, and you're like, it could be totally different from the content that you usually put out. Go ahead and go for it. If you write a certain book genre, or write a certain genre for your books or your poetry or whatever, Maybe you want to try out a different genre. Go ahead and do it. You know, there's nothing wrong in trying new things and seeing how, people receive it. And even if not even just for, consumption, not even for, the gaze of anyone else, do it for yourself. Do it because you want to do it. You know what I mean? Not because of what others may think. Okay, so then we go to the Queen of Summer. And then we have loving, comforting, emotional, intuitive. And this says, listen to your heart, intuitive insights you can trust, taking care of others, perhaps too much. So yeah, I feel like Cancers, by the end of the week, some of you could be extremely and it's a very Cancerian trait, though, to be concerned about others, especially your family, friends, close friends that you hold dear. Like, you could be more concerned with their well-being as opposed to your own. But this is telling you to listen to your heart more, listen to what it is that you want more. If you feel a certain way about something, don't be afraid to listen more, to what it is that you want to do versus how others may perceive you for doing what it is you're doing. Okay? So, and I'm looking because I'm getting something else here. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you, like, your self-doubt is messing with your confidence and is making you question your intuitiveness. And that's something that you need to stop. Like, literally. Yeah, stop questioning your intuition. You can trust your intuition. And I think even in Taurus's reading, it was about like filtering out what your mind is telling you, like, because sometimes our egos can kind of take over from our higher selves. And our ego, we can be so far in our ego that we start believing the shit, like, bad shit is gonna happen, or like this or that is gonna happen, or I'm not good enough, or who am I to think that I could do A, B, and C or D, like, it's oh my goodness, like, our egos can bring up some of the most egregious ish that will never ever happen at all. Like, we be putting too much on those things, and it's like this stuff, and you just be sitting there like, none of this has actually ever happened. Like, but it could happen though, if you continue to think those thoughts and think this or that is going to happen, and it actually does happen, and then you're just like, oh crap. I literally self-prophesized myself. I literally brought that into existence, something that I did not want to happen, but I was afraid of that would happen, and it's just kind of like, but yeah, you brought that on yourself though. All right, so that's the sense of what I'm getting here by the end of the week. But I feel like as long as you kind of flip that, listen to your heart more, listen to your intuitive insights, and try to look at things, look at it more so like, okay, is this really true? You know what I mean? Am I really seeing or feeling this correctly? Figure out what feels good, what doesn't feel good to you, and use your intuition, because Cancers are some of the most intuitive signs. Okay, next to Pisces, because of that water energy, very, very intuitive. Okay, so listen to your heart, and you all could even benefit, Cancers, from going to sit by some water and just meditating, just taking your time and just sitting out in nature, by water, getting in touch with that element, and just really letting yourself go, letting your mind wander, and really just hear, like, asking universe, God, spirit, whatever it is you believe in, speak to me clearly, please. Speak to me and let me hear my innermost thoughts and what's the truth. I want to filter blah, blah, blah. I want to filter out what is untrue and keep what is true. Okay, so think about that and see how that works for you. Okay, so back to the beginning here of the week. For the oracle, we have Yasigi, and this is Live Out Loud. Definitely aligns perfectly with the 8 of Winter, and this is Live Out Loud. Just straight to the point. Don't allow your self-confidence to keep you, from expressing yourself. Don't allow it to make you feel like, if you're feeling powerless, do things that make you feel powerful, whatever that may be. This could be in the form of getting up and dancing, singing a song, playing your favorite games, creating, sharing it with, loved ones or friends, so they can, partake in it and, give you your kudos and like, oh snap, this is really cool, giving you feedback, the good constructive feedback, like, maybe, this is great, but maybe you might want to change this, or maybe have you thought about this, giving you that good constructive criticism, because criticism is not bad. It's just when people are, mean about it is when it comes, it gets bad. So like constructive criticism, we want that constructive criticism, right? We want people to kind of give us feedback and, let us know that, what we're doing is right. We're on the right track and stuff. Sorry, I had to take a sip of my water here. But yeah, just focus on that. I feel like above all else, yeah, because like just look, I don't know if you can really see her expression, but she just looks like she's just in heaven, like she's just having a ball. She's not concerned with what's going on down here, with the other figures dancing around. She's not concerned with that. She's in her own element. So yes, be in your own lane, be in your own element. Don't worry about what other people have to say. Just do you. Okay? Okay, then in the middle here you have Oshun, and this is Fearless Love. I just feel like with this, it's more so telling you again, be fearless. Aside from the love part, you can love what it is that you're doing. What you're doing. You can love what it is that you're trying to do. Okay? But again, it makes me think of this word up here with 8 of Winter, powerless. And over here, Ace of Winter, challenges. Be fearless in the face of challenge. Don't worry about what might happen. Worry about what is happening. Worry about what it is you can see, what it is that you know to be true, like I keep saying. Be fearless with it. And also, you see these sort of like peacock things, or the eyes that can kind of be like on peacock feathers, or it looks like eyes, it's just their spots. But I don't know, these always make me think of like the eyes, or like eyes on you, evil eye. But it don't necessarily have to be like evil intentions. It just means that, eyes are on you. And that could also be a part of some of your anxiety or some of your self-conscious issues. You may feel like, self-confidence issues. You may be a little, self-conscious. And it may be making you feel kind of, weird, kind of like you don't want to make a misstep, or, or like you don't want to fail. and you don't want to fail publicly either. But it's okay to fail, though. It's okay to not get stuff right, you know, just as long as you have that fearlessness and, like, you know, understanding, like, you know, I may not have gotten it right this time, but there's a next time. There will be a next time. I can do better. You know what I mean? So that's what I get from Oshun, Fearless Love, because Oshun is very, like, she's very much in her queendom. She's very much in her goddess, like, state. She, you know, is very, when I think about Oshun, what I've, you know, learned about her, I just really feel like she's just no nonsense. She doesn't care what others think about her. She's just herself, you know, and she likes what she likes, and she does what she wants to do. You know what I mean? And if you make her mad, I pity the fool that makes her mad. He's sort of like, oh yeah. Yeah, like, I just, you know, and Oshun is like to me, like, even a testament to self-confidence, right? You know, loving on yourself, you know, indulging in things that make you happy, pleasure, that type of thing, like eating your favorite foods, like eating your favorite, you know, dessert, drinking wine, whatever, you know, whatever, doing whatever makes you happy. That to me is Oshun, right? Okay, so we're gonna keep going and we're gonna wrap this up here. You have Gang Gang Sarah, and this is Resistance. Okay. I feel like the only resistance that I was seeing is more so like being resistant to building your self-confidence, being resistant to listening to your heart and trusting your instincts and trusting your intuitive instincts, right? That's the only resistance that I'm seeing. But again, allow the listen to your heart to override that resistance. You know, you know, it's okay to question things, but, you know, and to make sure that, you know, you are, you know, paying attention to what could be too far-fetched, but also allowing your mind to wander, allowing your mind to, you know, get you to where it is that you want to be, if that makes sense. Like, you don't necessarily have to be fearful of, you know, what it is your intuition is telling you. Just make sure that you're filtering out what is like likely not to happen, you know, those kind of like those worst case scenario type things, because I know my mind can wander myself, and I can be like, and then I have to kind of like get my more logical hat on, and it's just like, okay, I'm sitting up here worried about this, and like, this is likely not to happen, you know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of cancers may be dealing with this week, is that they're trying to bring in things, or how can I put this? It's like you're adding problems that you don't have, if that makes sense. Like you're thinking that something is going to happen when it's not at all, you know? So that's what I'm getting for you Cancers for this week, the week of the 25th. Thank you so much for listening in. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, definitely let me know down in the comment section how it resonated, if you feel comfortable sharing. If not, you know, just leave me a cute emoji down in the comment section. You know, just keep it respectful, please. And, you know, just let me know how you feel about the reading. If you feel compelled to share it with others and you think they may benefit from this video, definitely please share it with them. I would love to build a community over here of people who love tarot and oracle card readings, and, you know, we can support each other that way. I can read and you can, you know, take the messages, okay? And yeah, definitely consider subscribing, because I have absolutely more videos coming soon. I think the next reading will be not a pick a pal, but a pick a card, pick a pal, whatever. It will be a all signs reading, because I definitely want to check in with all signs, just to kind of see what, they need to know, what the energies are looking like for all signs. And then, of course, for September, we will have the elemental readings for each element. Subscribe, do all the things. If you want to book a personal reading with me, that information will be down in the description box. Again, I will not reach out personally to give readings. I don't do that. I'm working on Patreon as well as Discord, so that is coming soon. Patreon will be more so for like extended readings that can be, paid for to listen in. And Discord will be more so on a personal level where we can, hang out, share more intimate details, and support one another and build community over there. Okay, so with all that said, I will be back next week for these weekly insight vibe check readings. Is what I'm still trying to figure out what I want to call these, but you'll see what it says and the title. But anyway, I'll be back with these weekly insight looks or vibes or whatever next week. And I will definitely make sure that I have it up Sunday evening. That is my goal, to have these weekly readings up on Sunday evening as opposed to well into the week. Even though Tuesday is not necessarily well into the week, but it's still, I want it up before, just to kind of get a good sense of going into the week, especially for those who have like the Sunday, what is it called? The Sunday scaries or Monday scaries or whatever it's called. Anyway, I've yapped enough. This is where I end. I will see you next time. Bye.